Alright guys, welcome to another class. My name is Victor and I am a music producer. I love mixing and I love sharing my experience in music. So guys, if you're just joining us, what we do in this channel, we mix, we masters, and sometimes we talk about the upcoming producers and some kind of little advice to enhance your music life. So guys, today what we are going to be doing today is that we are going to be mixing, and then we have a project here we are going to be mixing, and as you can see we have a lot of works to do here. So I'm going to be taking you guys through on how I achieve this and how I come through with this. So don't forget to subscribe to my channel, like and comment on this post, because when you comment on my post it gives me much energy to do more and to bring to you more of this tutorial. So if you have been searching online like back to back, like okay, I want to start mixing, how do I mix the vocals, and you know there's a lot of those videos online on tutorials concerning mixing and mastering. But I'm telling you guys, if you're sensitive enough and you're brilliant enough, this will be your final bus stop. So one of the things that we don't understand is that you load yourself too much with so much information, like some different kind of channel you load yourself, and at the end you discover that you are not really making use of the information. So if I'm teaching you this today, guys, please make sure you practice this very well. And even though you don't have a top plugin, like expensive plugin, that is the reason why I'm bringing this tutorial to you guys, that you can still use basic plugins, stock plugins also. I am not saying that I only use stock plugins for these vocals, but I stick to basic plugins that will make work easy for you. You can also mix with a basic plugin also. So without wasting much time, let's take a look at what we have and let's see how we are going to do about that. So let's give this project a play and see.
You cannot build your life on thank you, money, thank you, English, thank you. You know, everybody that God has created has a...
So I'm going to be bypassing the intro so that we can listen to it mix before we talk about getting rid of the mix.
I get the plans for my mind where everybody go, they come and grow. Be like saying nobody they will go help save man. I found my place, I found myself in a place when you speak you die. So many things where they happen for my country. I'm in a place when nobody they think of peace. I'm in a town when nobody they think of love. Oh yeah, I'm in a place when nobody they think of peace. I'm in a town when nobody they think of love. So when you learn lesson, jara jara, so many things do us, jara jara, but we don't learn lesson, jara jara, so many things stop us, jara jara, bad leaders then rule us, jara jara, but we don't learn lesson, jara jara, so many things that tell us, jara jara, but they are all fake like jara jara. Me I get the time.
So I'm not going to be playing everything about this song because this is a new song, it's not yet out, but once it's out I'm going to let you guys know when it's out so that you can go play, you can go listen to it or stream the song. So now as you can see, this is a very nice song, and I'm going to walk you through on how I mix this sound. So let's get down. So a little summary about the vocals. As you can see, this is our beat, this is our vocal, this is our vocal, our beat, sorry, then this is our verse, first verse, and I just do some kind of little cleaning. As you can see, when I go through it, you can see, and I'm using FL Studio 2021, which is very suitable for vocals. I think FL Studio is now enhancing vocal method, and I think which is very nice. It was very easy for me. Those kind of things makes me to run to Cubase those times, because there are some features concerning vocals that I am lacking, that I sometimes I don't see in FL Studio. But thanks to FL Studio, they came back with a lot of features that helps in the mixing process, in processing of vocals. So that's what I basically do here, like trying to like get rid of some stuff, and that is what I did. So we talk about the aspect of the let's talk about the aspect of the intro, and then we have the intro, which we have the intro. This is the intro, this is the intro, these are the intros, and these are the intros. So if I'm to talk about that, and let's just glance through it. This should be a special tutorial, but I mean, this should be another class, but let me just glance through it a little bit. Now
you cannot build your life on
it's just some kind of a vocal effect I decided to add to it to enhance the intro a little bit.
You cannot build,
because this is basically a song that talks about country and some other things, and so we need some kind of films as the intro. So that's what
you cannot build your life on thank you.
So I just then got this online. I decided to add this on. So some kind of noisy background noise, like to enhance it, like, you know, I don't know if you understand what I'm trying to say, but the feelings of that. So this also, I added something like this
on thank you
this kind of
on thank you morning, thank you
this kind of police siren, and then I came to this place also, and I added something like
on thank you.
So all these are just creativity that I just did, and just try to automate it, make it look as if the car was just passing by, or the car was just chasing some kind of person. And then that is what I just do, add some kind of effect to it, just like this, which sound in the beat this way. Let me play it together with the beat so that we can listen to what the sound makes there.
I get the plans for my mind, yeah.
So another thing I basically did here was adding this also, this sound.
God has created has a sense of survival anywhere in
so that is the artist's voice. I have to like twist it and try to like make it work better on the intro. So guys, that is what I did concerning the intro. Now let's talk about the vocals itself. Now let's listen to the vocal in the raw form. So in this now, I'm going to be taking out all my presets, every plugins I've used in these vocals. So I'm going to be taking them off. So I just took them off. Now let's play the vocal raw and see how it sounds.
I get the plans for my mind, where everybody go, they come and grow. Be like saying nobody they will go help save man.
Now for some kind of reasons, let's like go to another part of the song so that we can listen to it that way also.
So when you learn lesson,
so I didn't mute the backup. I think I have to name this. What did I name this? This was a very large project, so backup. Why can't I find? Let me play that.
So when you learn lesson,
okay, I got it now. So I have to like bounce my backup. That is the reason why you see that it's like this. I have to like consolidate it because of the CPU. So I have to like still use the same preset I use on the vocals to do it. So let's listen.
So when you learn lesson, so many things to us, but we don't.
So that is not the original sound of the backup though. So let's just bear it with me. I cannot revise it to the raw form anymore. So now let's see how we can.
So when you learn lesson, so many things to us, but we don't learn lesson.
Now I think we should use this part. I'll be taking it to other part, but let's just use this part for the mixing. Now let's turn on our vocal and then remove every plugin that we are used. So on my process removing this, you can just glance through the plugin we use. It's not a strong plugin, just a basic plugin. You can afford it and you can get this for free. Some of the plugins are free plugins. So let's see what we can do. And okay, now we have an auto tune. Basically we talked about auto tune every time on our mixing sessions. So what I basically do here was just to throw an auto tune, find a key to my beat, and then throw the key into this place. So for instance, if you're an upcoming artist and upcoming producer, you don't know how to find a key to vocals, I think I have that for the beginners of my video. You can check down my videos. There are a lot of videos which I talk about how to find a key to our beat. So first of all, I was just find a B major and then set my return speed to about 4. I tune my return speed this way and then I tune it to about 4. Okay, 4. I just humanize it a little bit because I want some kind of auto-tune feelings because of the voice of the artist. That was how I just set my humanizing to that. So that's all with the auto-tune. So let's go to the most important plugin, and which is our RX Diplosive, and this is the Diplosive plugin from the Isotope plugins, Isotope company, sorry. So what I basically use the Diplosive for, and then I basically use it for removing of some plosive, just like those kind of poop in the process of recording and some kind of stuff. Those things find their way into our mic from our voice, and then it affects our mix during when we are mixing. So when you are mixing, you make sure you take this off. When you are mixing, you put this plugin. I didn't touch anything, I just throw it on and everything sound this way.
So when you learn lesson, so many things to us, but we don't learn lesson. So many things stop us.
So I want us to basically focus on our main vocals. So for the sake of that, I'm going to be taking down every backup that is on this mix, and then every backup that we have on this mix, so that we can understand what we are basically doing, so we don't rush. So I'm going to be turning up my instrumental also.
So when you learn lesson, so many things to us, but we don't learn lesson. So many things stop us.
Now that is what the work of our Diplosive is doing. So the next thing I did was to clean my background noise, and ways I've using cleaning my background noises are using the Pro G from Fat Filter. So I just have to turn my threshold to -53, and that's only what I did. And let's take a listen.
So when you learn lesson, so many things to us, but we don't learn lesson. So many things stop us. Bad leaders then rule us, but we don't learn lesson.
So that is what I basically did with the Fat Filter Pro G. And then let's talk about another plugin that I use, which is the EQ. I use this EQ to remove rumbles on the mix, and as you can see, there was a lot of digging here. Basically, there is no big ways to EQ. There are sometimes you see people that you do your EQ like this, you take off the most important part, and I've tried that sometimes, but I've come to realize that music is just all about creativity. Whatever you do that it comes out with great sound, I don't think there's any law guiding EQ. So now what I did was to remove some kind of rumbles from the 100 Hz down to about to about 156. And then when I did that, I discovered that there are some kind of the kind of copy sound, should I say low bass sound, that I don't really need in this sound. So let's listen to what I'm talking about and see. So I don't really need this sound, so that's the reason why I have to duck it down this way. But I want to take much of it down, I want to take much out of it. So I came to this place also and I do the same thing.
So when you learn lesson, so many things.
So I don't need much of that sound because I want the vocals to be very, very clean and matured and good, so I don't need that, so I have to take that off. So I know you'll be a little bit surprised that why did I cut even the high side of it. So the vocal was very harsh,
So when you learn lesson,
so it was very harsh then, so I have to like cut from the high end to this place a little bit.
so when you learn lesson,
Basically the vocal was not even up to that extent, so just a little bit at this range here. Let's cut a little bit out of it, then come to this place which there is a very harshness in it, disturbing me in my head, so I have to like, okay, cut this.
so when you learn lesson,
So
but we don't learn lesson. So many things stop us, rule us, but we don't learn lesson. But they are all fake like me, I get it.
so all these things I am doing it because of the way I'm listening to it. So listening to those sounds are very annoying, and then the vocal wasn't too record on a quality kind of microphone, so I have to do all these things to like clean up the vocals for a better plugins. So all these things you see that I'm doing, I'm just doing it to clean my vocals apart from the auto tune I just add, and that was how everything sound this way with the EQ.
So when you learn lesson,
So let's listen to
so many things to us.
so let's listen to before and after. So let me be turning off the EQ.
So when you learn lesson, so many things to us.
So I'll be turning it on now. Sorry,
So when you learn lesson, so many things to us,
off,
but we don't learn lesson.
on.
So many things stop us.
So you can see the
So
way
when you learn
you
lesson,
can see the way it was very
so
cool.
when you learn,
It was very cool and calm after the EQ. So spend time on your EQ, guys. So that is all with the EQ, and let's play it with our instrument and see what goes on there.
so when you learn lesson, so many things to us, but we don't learn lesson. So many things stop us. Bad leaders then rule us, but we don't learn lesson. So many things they tell us, but they are all fake like me, I get.
So just as I promised that I'm sticking to a basic plugin, and that is what I'm basically doing, and then we are going to be using a Fat Filter Pro G compressor. So what I basically do with my compressor here was that I just select a preset, and then what I did was, most times when I use a fast filter preset, I just go use the fat filter compressor, because I love using the fat filter compressor, because I use it sometimes to balance my instrumental. What I mean by balancing my vocal, sorry, I use it to balance my vocal. So the part that has a lower part, this compressor will raise it up, and the part that is very over loud, it will bring down, and it will bring down to an equal part. That is why I love using fat filter compressor, and that's the reason why I use fat filter compressor most times, every time you see my videos. So guys, watch out on my videos that will be coming out, which I'll be talking about much on wave plugins. So we are going to be mixing with wave plugins with expensive plugins, and you can see the difference of what I'm telling you. There is no much difference, it just depends on the work that you're doing. So let's take a listen.
So when you learn lesson, so many things to us, but we don't learn lesson. So many things stop us. Bad leaders then rule us, but we don't learn lesson. So many things they tell us.
So now what I basically did was to select a preset. I go to vocal and I select the pro vocal over BM. I select it, and then that is all. When I selected it, my sidechain, I have to drive my sidechain all the way from this place down to this place, and that is how everything was cool. That's how it sounds that way. So I added another compressor. This one is a stock compressor, and I believe if you're using FL Studio, you must have this. So let's take a listen to how this compressor sound.
So when you learn lesson, so many things to us, but we don't learn lesson. So many things stop us.
So now I was just using this compressor to back up the fat filter compressor. This is what I basically do sometimes. I also use two compressors to back up my compressors because I don't want one compressor to be doing too much. So in this one I use a minus 20 dB threshold on this aspect, and it comes to the ratio which I just had a ratio to 2.1. Sometimes adding gain to my vocal, sometimes I don't add too much gain, because when I add too much gain I discovered that my vocals started to sound very harsh. So if I have to turn down my ratio to minus to about 2 dB, I have to gain 1.5 dB. That is how I used to do concerning my compressor. That is how I do when it comes to this FL Studio compressor, and it works for me very fine. Now in the attacking mode, I have to set my attack to this 100.4 ms, and then the release to 381 ms. So that is how I have to balance up everything, and everything sound this.
So when you learn lesson, so many things to us, but we don't learn lesson.
Now let's talk about another plugins I use, and this is a fresh air plugin, and this is a free plugin, though you can get this for free. And I think I got this when the fresh air was out, and it was like they were like, okay, this is a free plugin, trying to advertise it, and it's free for that moment. I don't know if it is still free, but you can make a research, or I'll make a research for you guys and let you guys know if this is still free or not. And so what I basically use this fresh air to do was to add some kind of airy sound, like some kind of sweet sound to it. Let's take a listen first.
So when you learn lesson, so many things to us, but we don't learn lesson. So many things stop us.
Now let's take a listen to before and after and see.
So when you learn lesson, so many things to us, but we don't learn lesson.
Now let me turn it on.
So when you learn lesson, so many things to us, but we don't learn lesson. So many things stop us. But
so I don't know if you get the kind of cool sound and a very calm sound is adding to it. It was very somehow looking very harsh before, but when this thing comes in, there are some ways that you have to decrease the harshness on it, and it was sounding very cool. So basically what I actually did here was that I didn't touch the mid-range of it. I just have to add about 13% of high end to it, some kind of one and some kind of airy sounds to the high aspect, which I add about 13% of it. I just tune it this way to about 13%, and then it sounds this way.
So when you learn lesson, so many things to us, but we don't learn lesson. So many things.
So that's all I did with my fresh air plugin, and that's what I use the fresh air to achieve in this mix. So let's talk about other plugin, which is this Fat Filter Saturn 2. So I use this Saturn 2 to saturate my vocals, and there's a reason why I love using this Saturn 2. So what I did was that I go to one transformer, I set it to one transformer. So after setting it, I didn't actually touch the drive, I just turn it about 23% of it, a little bit. I didn't drive it much, so I just came to this place, yes, where I did the main job. So I use this stuff here now to shape and tune my vocal. So what I basically did here, I come to the high aspect, I add about 0.55 dB to it. As you can see, I came to this place, I add about -2. This is minus now. That shows that I decided to like bring it down. I bring the hash frequency down on that aspect. I came to the mid-range, I did not add it, I still minus, trying to shape my vocal. So when I come to the basic part of it, I didn't actually touch anything, because I used my EQ to work on that recently on it. So it sounds this way without. Let's listen to without first.
So when you learn lesson, so many things to us, but we don't learn lesson.
So that is what I basically do. So let's turn it with it and see.
So when you learn lesson, so many things to us, but we don't learn lesson. So many things stop us.
So without.
So when you learn lesson,
with.
So when you learn lesson, so many things to us.
So I don't know if you notice the calmness and the sweetness of the voice from this Saturn that we have had. So that's the difference that the Saturn 2 is making. So now let's talk about our next plugin we add, which is the warming v2. And then this is a free plugin, you can get it, and it's a very free plugin. You can just browse it and ask for this warming tube. And what I basically use this warming tube to do is that I came to this boost and cut aspect at this place. I have to set this to 200 Hz. Then I came to this place, I cut from 200 Hz about like I didn't cut up to 1, just a little bit. That is what I just cut because I don't want to do too much. So I came to this part also. I have to set this to 10. I have to set this boost high frequency, I have to set it to 10, and then I add a little bit of boosting to it, which is not even up to dB, not up to 1 dB. Then I came to this place, I did the same thing for this side also. Here I boost, here I cut. So for you to understand this plugin, you need to like put more work into it, practice very well, and you get to understand what all these plugins normally do. So for instance, let me just turn this on.
So when you learn lesson,
and let me,
so many things to us.
So I'll just turn it on and turn it all the way up and see what difference it's making.
So when you learn lesson, so many things to us.
So you can see,
but we don't learn lesson. So many things stop.
That's not what we want, so we have to like, I have to put it on a little, just not cut a little of it from there, and it sounds this way.
So when you learn lesson, so many things to us, but we don't learn lesson.
So this is without.
So when you learn lesson, so many things to us, but we don't.
So this is with.
So when you learn lesson, so many things to us, but we don't learn lesson. So many things stop us. Bad leaders then rule us, but we don't learn lesson. So many things that tell us, but they are all fake like.
So if you notice, I am not overusing my plugins. I am not overusing them. I am just tuning, doing little. If you can see this plugin I use there, some of the boosting and some of the thing I cut wasn't even up to dB, and it's working very fine. So as an upcoming producer, you feel that it's all about cutting high, cutting, you know, just cutting, or boosting 2 dB, 3 dB, 5 dB will change things. You're only killing the sound. So when you cut, you just cut a little, do a little, and leave the rest. The miss, you see that you are getting what you are getting right where you are going. So that is it. So the final plugin I decided to add to this plugin was an EQ, and this is what I use this basic EQ to do. I told you guys I want to stick to stock plugins. Despite the fact I didn't stick to stock plugins, I still use some basic plugin that is easy to find and easy to buy, so you guys can just make use of it. So now what I did there was that the low aspect of it, I have to cut this down a little bit, which is about -4 dB. Now I came to this place, I have to like minus from this way, like taking this aspect down to about -1.2 dB. I came to this aspect and I did the same thing, like bringing it down. Here I was just trying to get rid of some kind of noisy and some kind of tune that doesn't meet up with the style of song that we are creating. So I came to this place, I didn't touch anything here. I came to this place, I have to minus about 1.8 dB. I came to this place, I have to dock it down to about 2 dB because there are some harshness here, which let me just say, let's listen to it.
So when you learn lesson, so many things do.
So that was very annoying. That's why I have to bring down to about 2 dB, and then I come to the high aspect. I have to boost the high end a little bit to about 2.8 dB. That is it, and let's take a listen to how it sounds with it.
So when you learn lesson, so many things to us, but we don't learn lesson. So many things stop us. Bad leaders then rule.
So this is all about my vocal chain, and let's listen to without the plugin. Let me turn up the plugin.
So when you learn lesson, so many things to us, but we don't learn lesson.
So you can see that this plugin play the major role when it comes to this mixing, because I use it to shape the mix and it fit into the beat. So let's listen to it with the beat and compare the difference now.
So when you learn lesson, so many things do us, but we don't learn lesson. So many things stop us. Bad leaders then rule us.
So we are not going to be listening to only that part. Let's take it to the first verse of it and listen also.
I get the plans for my mind where everybody go, they come and grow. Be like say nobody they will go help save man. I found my place. I found myself in a place when you speak you die. So many things where they happen for my country. I'm in a place when nobody they think of peace. I'm in a town when nobody they think of love. Oh yeah, I'm in a place when nobody they think of peace. I'm in a town when nobody they think of love. So when you learn lesson,
so that is it, and that is all we did with our plugins concerning the vocal aspect. So let's talk about our delay. So what I did with my delay here was that I have to sidechain my vocal to my delay, and as you can see there is a connection there's a connection here from my main vocal. There's a connection from my main vocal to my delay, and as you can see this is the connection at the bottom part of my mixer. So now on my delay I use this delay 2, so I decided to stick to stock plugin. So I have to use this delay 2 from FL Studio, their stock plugin, which is very nice. I use this delay a lot and it's easy to manipulate. So first of all, one of the things I did when I used the delay was I take down my dry all the way from this aspect to this part to 0. Then my timing, I have to set my timing to 4, as you can see. Then that's all I just did with the delay. So let me just raise the delay volume up a little bit. Let me take it all the way up, because okay, this is 29. Okay, let me take it all the way up. Let's listen to it with the delay. Let me turn off the rest of the plugs and on this.
I get the plan, for my mind, everybody go, they grow. Be like say, they work.
So this is not what we want to hear, because this is very disturbing. And then after adding my delay to it and it's sounding that way, so the next thing I decided to add was adding a Fruitly limiter from the FL Studio, and it's a stock plugin. I click on the compress aspect. I have to sidechain. This is my vocal, so I have to rename my vocal to vocal there to appear here. So you have to appear here, sidechain to vocal. I have to turn on the threshold to this way, turn the other one to this way, and turn the other one to this way. As you can see the setting, you can copy off my setting. So what I was basically doing with this limiter is that I was basically trying to like let my delay not to disturb or distort my main vocal when the music is going on. So let's give it a play.
I get the plan, for my mind, everybody go, they come.
So this delay is only going to be active anytime the artist stops singing, then it will just pop. Once the artist starts singing, it will go off. That was basically what I did with this, and it sounds this way.
I get the plan, for my mind, everybody go, they grow.
At this moment, it wasn't perfect for now. So the next thing I went to do was to add in an EQ to it. So I add an EQ to it, which I use in taking down the low aspect and the high, some kind of little high frequency, and I just try to boost some little thing at the mid-range here to give in another shape of tune from the main vocal, so it sounds this way.
I get the plan, for my mind, everybody go, they come.
See that the delay is sounding differently from our main vocals. So let's take a listen to it.
I get the plan, for my mind, everybody go, they come and grow. Be like say, they work.
Next thing I did that concerns my delay is that I came to this place. I have to play it with my beats this time around, and then play it through.
I get the plan, for my mind, everybody.
I'm turning down the volume of the delay now.
I get the plan, for my mind, everybody go, they come and grow. Be like say nobody go help save man. I found my place. I found myself in a place when you speak, you die. So many things where they happen for my country. I'm in a place. I'm in a place when nobody.
So this is what I basically did with the delay. I have to turn down the volume of my delay to about to 28% of it, which is about 20 dB minus 20 dB. That was what I basically did with the delay. Now let's talk about our reverb and let's see what we basically did to achieve a good reverb on this. So the reverb I used on my vocal was, this is a new reverb. I know most of you don't know about it. I was like planning to maybe I'll make a special tutorial concerning the Lux reverb. I think it's Lux reverb. I don't know how to pronounce this, but this is a reverb and this is a new reverb on the stock plugin of FL Studio. I've seen this reverb to be a very nice reverb, and I think this reverb works exactly just like the Valhalla vintage reverb, and it sounds very nice. So I have to use other reverb. Like first of all, I have to use I use some other reverb. I use the Valhalla reverb also, but I end up not using it, and then I decided to use this reverb, and it works perfectly for this mix. So what I basically did there was to turn down my dry. This is my dry. I have to turn it down this way. Let's listen to how it sounds with the reverb first, but let me just reset our, this is 42, okay, and okay, yeah. Now let's listen to it with the reverb and see.
I get the plans for my mind where everybody go, they come and grow. Be like say nobody they will go ahead.
So it was sounding this way before.
I get the plans for my mind where
then I have to turn down the dry and it started to sound this way.
I get the plans for my mind where everybody go.
That was sounding very cool. And then the decay, what I did for the decay was just to turn down my decay a little bit. My decay was very high before, but I have to turn it down to this aspect. Then my pre-delay, I have to set my pre-delay to 79.2. just have to tune it through. But there are other ways of finding our pre-delay, which I talked about in some of my other videos, which is calculating our delay, which is 6,000 divided by the BPM of our song and by the bar of our song will give you your pre-delay. That is it. Okay, so now I just have to set my pre-delay to 79. Sometimes I have to retune my pre-delay myself and get it balanced on that way. So that was what I did with the delay, and it sounds this way.
I get the plans for my mind where everybody go, they come and grow. Be like say nobody they will go help save man.
So the next thing I have to add was an EQ and a stock EQ also. So I have to take down the low aspect and the high aspect. Have to dip a little bit of frequency here that is not needed in the reverb. Now I am trying to have a control of my reverb, so anything I am doing here is not going to be affecting my main vocal but only the reverb. That was the reason for my side chaining. So let's take a listen to how it sounds.
I get the plans for my mind where everybody go, they come and grow.
Now we are going to be blending our reverb with our beat now. So I'm going to be turning on our instrumental and then I'm going to be playing the mix. Watch me as I blend it through.
I get the plans for my mind where everybody go, they come and grow. Be like say nobody they will go help save man. I found my place. I found myself in a place when you speak, you die. So many things where they happen for my country. I'm in a place when nobody they think of peace. I'm in a town when nobody they think of love. Oh yeah, I'm in a place when nobody they think of peace. I'm in a town when nobody they think of love. So when you learn lesson, so many things do.
So on this aspect, as you can see, our mix is already sounding very nice. So on this aspect, we are going to be turning on all our backup, bringing our backup in, backup. So let's bring all our backup in, bringing my backup in. Now my backup are in, so let's play through.
When nobody did think of love. So when you learn lesson, jara. So when you learn lesson, jara jara. So many things to us, jara jara. But we don't learn lesson, jara jara. So many things stop us, jara jara. Bad leaders then rule us, jara jara. But we don't learn lesson, jara jara. So many things that tell us, jara jara. But they are all fake like jara jara. Me I get the time, get the place for my body and soul. So many things where they ring for me.
So this is what I did concerning this mix, and this is how everything is. And the next thing I have to do is to just round up my mix and get it ready for mastering. So I go into my beat aspect, and then I have to I forgot to talk about this plugin. I'm sorry, but before I go into my mixing, I have to balance my beat. So I'm sorry for getting you guys confused about this before I go into my mix. So what I basically did here was that I was trying to reduce the volume of my beat. I can basically do it from this aspect also, which is fine, but I've come to discover that doing it from this aspect, like using this plugin, this Fruitly balance, helps you to keep the quality of the beat. That is not losing any stuff about it. So that is it. So I have to bring it down to -9 from something dB to reduce the volume of my beat, so that I can have enough headroom to mix and have a good mix. So that is what I did with that. So I have to add an EQ also to take down some kind of frequency in the beat, like ducking down the mid-range and some aspect to shape my beat a little bit to enable me to work on this, because this beat is already a mastered beat already, and I have to do a lot of work to bring it to rhyme and shape with the mix with the instrumental. So I use my track spacer also to make my mix sit on my beat, which I load it on my beat. When I load it in, I have to sidechain going to this place and click on process, auto map, and then I have to sidechain this to vocal this way, and then everything was like this.
So when you learn lesson, jara jara. So many things to us, jara jara. But we don't learn lesson, jara jara.
So it was deactivated before, because I deactivated because of the tutorial. So now let's walk through it and set it better.
So when you learn lesson, jara jara. So many things to us, jara jara. But we don't learn lesson, jara jara. So many things stop us, jara jara. Bad leaders then rule us, jara jara. But we don't learn lesson, jara jara. So many things that tell us, jara. So when you learn lesson, jara jara. So many things to us, jara jara. But we don't learn lesson, jara jara. So many things stop us, jara jara. Bad leaders then rule us.
So basically, as you can see, I have a special tutorial that talks about sitting, how to make your vocals to sit to communicate with your beat, and making your vocals to sit properly on your beat. So I basically use this track spacer to achieve those things, and that is what I was doing. When it was playing, you discover that there was a frequency that was ducking down. That was the beat that was ducking down, and the blue frequency was my vocal, which is popping out. So the beat was ducking down for the vocals to be able to pop out very well and sit properly on the mix. So that was what I did. But if you want to learn about track spacer more, you can watch my other tutorial, because I'm not going to be talking about this too much on this tutorial. So we are going to be talking about that in other tutorials. So guys, thank you guys for watching, and thank you for all the love and care you guys have been showing to me and watching my video. Don't forget to comment. Your comment means a lot to me, and I will always be at the comment section to read your comment. So let's listen to this music.
So when you learn lesson, jara jara. So many things to us, jara jara. But we don't learn lesson, jara jara. So many things stop us, jara jara. Bad leaders then rule us.
You cannot build your life. Thank you. Personal. Thank you. You cannot build your life. Thank you. Personal. Thank you. Thank you. Touches. Thank you. I cannot. everybody that God has created has a sense of survival. Anywhere in this world is going to send you their best of anything.
I get the plans for my mind where everybody go, they come and grow. Be like say nobody they where go help save man. I found my place, I found myself in a place when you speak you die. So many things where they happen for my country. I'm in a place where nobody they think of peace. I'm in a town where nobody they think of love. Oh yeah, I'm in a place where nobody they think of peace. I'm in a town where nobody they think of love. So when you learn lesson, jara jara, so many things do us, jara jara, but we don't learn lesson, jara jara.